Hey, I'm Tyler St. Clair,
And I'm Evan Farrell.
and this is Halfnote.
This week on Halfnote, I'm going to talk about some of my favorite female artists in honor of March 8th last week being International Women's Day. What else do we have?
And then we're going to have a special guest on this week's episode. His name is Cory Wells. He's a emo folk, quote unquote, artist from Southern California area. He's really just sort of getting his start, has a lot of views.
Probably most of those are for me on his newest song.
Yeah. I mean, he's a super up-and-coming, dope artist, and we're going to talk to him for a little bit about his musical journey.
We have that coming up at the end of the show, probably.
Yeah, just to see what he has to say about everything. What do you want to start with?
We can start with all the wonderful female artists that there are.
Go for it.
One of my favorites is Julian Baker. She is quite possibly the saddest songwriter I've ever heard, and I love it because I think we've talked about how much both of us love really sad music.
Yeah, she's emo AF. Like it.
Emo, but like her lyrics are like, I don't know, they're that you can connect to them almost.
Yeah.
She writes lyrics that aren't. I don't know how to. I want to explain it because her lyrics I think can connect to everyone. One song is like 15 meanings. So every person that listens to it could derive some sort of meaning from it, and I love that.
Yeah, her audio tree was sick. The one
Yeah.
that she did like forever ago. She did another session. I can't remember what she did it on, but
She did a Tiny Desk too.
yeah, the Tiny
And that
Desk
was
was
awesome.
awesome. Tiny Desk was cool because it's just so raw.
There wasn't any reverb or
There's
anything.
nothing.
Well, there's no when they do those concerts. There's no EQ or anything. It's just
I mean, yeah, it's just as it is, just as raw as it gets in that room. I mean, that mic that they use is disgusting.
yeah, but they don't put reverb or anything like that on it
Yeah.
unless they bring like their own mic setup and stuff.
Yeah.
There's nothing crazy. The audio tree, she got to do her normal, like crazy reverb and
Yeah.
stuff,
That was sick.
which I love. Everyone knows you love reverb.
I love reverb.
Um,
Reverb bomb or get out.
Reverb nuke. But yeah, Julian Baker, her song Sprained Ankle, I think is my favorite. Is that the name of it? Or is that the name of the album? No, that's the name of the song. It's the first one I heard by her, and I loved it.
I don't know song
It's so
names.
sad.
I still don't know song names on any artist that I like hardly.
When it comes to sad stuff, I'm pretty bad with song names because I don't pick a song when it comes to if I'm in the mood to listen to sad music. I just click an album and I don't pay attention to it. I just listen to it all the way through.
But Spotify ruined that too because it's just like when you were able to save phone numbers in your cell phone. You just don't know anybody's number anymore. It's how Spotify is. You just hit play and you just let it go.
Yeah, I barely know my mom's number, so that's a very good point.
Well, I just now figured out my wife's number.
Just
'cause I had
now?
to write it down yesterday. I never remember it. It's going to be
That's good.
awful if I ever lose my phone and I'm deserted somewhere.
That's good. But no, yeah, Spotify, that's a good point. I think Spotify's definitely ruined that whole, what's this song called? Because you just ignore it and hit play.
Yeah. Well, most of the time I struggle. I don't even look because out of pure laziness in today's world, I'm just yeah, it'll come back on at some point.
But is that laziness or does that, I think that gives credit to the artist that you're listening to, that their entire album is so good that you don't need to pick a song.
No,
you can hit play and then pay attention.
I'm talking about when I want to show somebody else a song because I'm like, this song's sick, and then I have to sit there and click next on every song because I'm like, I don't know which one it was.
Okay,
I think it's somewhere in the middle here. I can recall spending possibly hours doing that a couple times.
Pretty sure you've done that with me, trying
Yeah.
to show me a song, and you're like,
Well,
I don't know what it is. I give up.
I spend hours doing everything though.
That's true. Recently, and you're the kind of person that does something until you get it.
Yeah.
But recently, you twice now gave up on something and you couldn't believe it.
I'm
What
just
was
gonna
it?
blame that on old age. I'm just feeling like I'm getting old.
Old age, okay, because you're so ancient.
Well, no, I'm just getting older. I
Yeah,
don't have as much drive anymore.
to put a pickup in your acoustic, you mean? AKA, you were screaming cuss words
Yeah.
because it wouldn't work.
Okay, well, I bruised my arm because the sound hole is too small for my arm. Not vice versa. My arm might be a little too big to go in the JS Mini hole.
I think that's probably what it is. 'Cause
Whatever.
the Taylor, what is it, a Taylor Mini that you have?
GS Mini. I gave up
really
on that.
tiny.
Yeah, but it sounds so good. Don't ever try to install a pickup in that unless it's the easy one.
What's the easy one?
Taylor has an easy one. Or whatever they have. It's like made for the GS Mini. You just like plug 2 cables in and you're done.
Why didn't you get that?
Because it sounds like shit.
Oh.
And the one I got doesn't.
Well, you can't get the one that you bought in your guitar, so it really doesn't matter.
Yeah, but it still plugs in outside of the guitar, so it'll be all right.
That's good.
What
Anyway,
other female artists do you have?
There is a artist named Sabrina Claudio. I don't actually know how big of a deal she is. I can't remember. Like, I just found her one day, and I've never looked her up. I just listened to her music. I'm not sure if she's huge or small time, but she falls under that lo-fi. Well, it's more R&B than it is lo-fi, but it's like soulful, just like hit you in the feels music, and I love it. It's not sad, really, but if I had to describe it, it's like vibey music. We're looking up to see.
I don't know if I've ever listened to her.
You have. I showed you Confidently Lost. It's an unreal song. When I heard it, I think I listened to it. I put it on repeat like 5 times. Oh, okay. It has 5 million views, so I'd say
she's not very
she's
big.
up there.
No,
I had no idea.
And her other
song,
she knows how to play music, to be honest with you.
Her other song is 2.6 million. Okay. Had no idea she was that big of a deal.
What about that one, the artist that you listen to that does all those covers, the female? It's usually just her in a room with a guitar and a mic, one condenser.
Daniela Andrade.
Is that who that is?
Yeah, I think she does her own stuff too. But she's amazing, and she's one of the biggest YouTubers that does that kind of stuff that I've ever seen. She's got 1.5 million subscribers.
Yeah, this is her. Oh, that Feel Good Inc. cover's so good.
I love that one. But her original song, Sure.
To the real OG Gorillas. That last album was, whew.
I don't want to say it was bad. It was just too weird.
You kidding me? Were they even on it?
No, they weren't.
It was a Gorillaz album just featuring Gorillaz occasionally. Gosh, let's just skip talking.
We'll save that for another day. I forgot about that.
I don't even want to talk about that.
I need to give it a listen again.
You might not be able to find it because you won't tell the.
It's not on the Gorillaz page. Anyway, Daniela Andrade, I think she got her start on YouTube, just posting covers, and then
probably
she realized, hey, this works, and then got super huge from it. She has 1.5 million subscribers.
She's like another one of those artists that like doesn't necessarily need anything.
No.
She just puts a condenser in the room and just records a cover, and it sounds immaculate.
Her voice needs nothing on it.
Yeah.
It's
it sounds beautiful. Incredible.
But she has an original called Shore. And there's a version of it on Spotify that's the recorded one. And it's good, obviously. But the one that's on YouTube is unreal. Because she does some different vocal stuff. And, like, it's one of those ones, she's just sitting in a room with a condenser mic and her guitar. Yeah, it's that one.
Yeah.
We'll post a link to it.
I remember that one.
You guys need to check it out.
Who else? Who else is on your list?
Paramore is an obvious one.
Dun, dun, dun. Go figure.
I mean,
Paramore's dope.
And their newest CD is really cool. I don't know. What's the consensus on that among everyone else on the new CD? Has it gotten good?
I don't think anybody really. I didn't see a lot of people disliking it.
It's different.
I mean, it's really weird though. Paramore is just like very like their sound, even though it differs every album. Everything they've ever put out still is very like cohesive.
Mm-hmm.
You know it's Paramore. You know it's gonna be great. Mm-hmm. Like they're undoubtedly good.
Is Hard Times, is that the single off of the new one?
Yeah.
I love that song.
Only 62 million views on that one, so it's...
Is that it?
Not... Paramore's not very big these days.
No, they're not a big deal or anything.
No, they're... I mean...
Haley Williams...
Compared to Misery Business, though...
How many does it have? Oh, okay. Only 150 million views. That's not very many at all.
Well, the Needle Drop reviewed it.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it.
Click it and see what he gave it in the...
His face looks like he hates it.
Go on, more info. He puts the rating in the more info thing. He gave it a 7 out of 10, and for
So-
him, that's
he
basically
hates
a 10.
everything.
He doesn't hate everything. He's just very particular.
I
in
think
his
he
music
likes stuff
choice.
better when he has a mustache. I don't know.
If you don't know who we're talking about, his name is Anthony Fantano. He runs a music review YouTube page called The Needle Drop. It's like one of the bigger ones, like 2 or 3 million subscribers. He's pretty particular in what he listens to. So like a 7 out of 10 from him.
The
is
Jaden
solid.
Smith review is hilarious.
I think I listened to it. He
Yeah.
hates that song, doesn't he? He made fun of some of his lines, like the line about washing dishes or something. He said he uses that line 3 times.
No, oh yeah, in the album,
Yeah.
he said like that's like all he talks about on the album is washing dishes. And he's like, "Do you ever think that kid's actually washing dishes?"
What about your daughter? Loves that song.
Yeah. Every morning she asks for it. It's like a new thing.
Every morning she listens.
Oh.
She screamed Jaden.
When I
over all
walk in
the
her
time.
room to wake her up in the morning, she won't move. But if I turn Jaden on, she'll like jump up out of bed and dance.
Which song is it by him? I can't remember the
Icon.
name of it.
She
It's not
loves-
a bad song. I mean, it's just like it's
To
pretty
be honest,
cheesy.
I like it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. It's very cheesy. The lyrics are not good, I don't think.
So you got any other female artists to talk about?
I mean, an obvious one is Adele.
She's all right.
Just all right. No, she's phenomenal.
She uses auto-tune too much.
No, she does not.
Just kidding.
Man, she had a video on YouTube once. We'll put a link to it because I know I have it favorited. It's just a phone video someone in the crowd took, but the speakers outside in the house went out completely.
Yeah, I remember that.
And her in-ear monitors were fine. So she had no idea. And all you can hear is her voice just belting it and it's like it's no problem. Filling an entire room with no speakers, just her voice.
Yeah.
And people were freaking out, going crazy. And at the end of the song, she's like, "The speakers went off. What the hell?" She's like, "I had no idea. I was wondering why you guys were going so crazy. I thought someone was streaking on stage."
That's awesome.
She's awesome though. Her last album, what's it called? All of her albums are numbers. It's 23, I think. Man, I don't remember.
You know,
Regardless.
there's actually, I don't, to be honest, like not like a mean way. I just don't listen to a lot of female artists on the regular.
Mhm.
There is one recently that sort of stood out to me. It's a female fronted band. It's going to be on a channel called Dreambound. If nobody's ever heard of Dreambound.
Yeah, shout out to Dreambound.
Yeah,
They're awesome.
Super shout out to Dreambound. Really cool people. Always supporting pretty much anything.
Yeah, they just recently started doing acoustic videos too. They used to only do kind of like, what was it, metalcore? What genres did they pick? They're pretty picky, but at
I
the
don't
same
even
time,
know.
they're not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all their content's like super high quality. I don't think they've ever released anything bad quality.
No, they won't accept it.
No. But, I mean, I would say a lot of it's sort of like post-hardcore. I don't know. A lot of bands got their start on
If
there.
you go on Dreambound and pick a band and then pick another band, they're gonna have a similar sound. You could put them in the same genre, and that's basically the same across the whole page, I would say. And except for now, when they have
I
acoustic
don't agree
artists,
with that.
not the same. I'm not saying it in a bad way. I'm just saying you could lump all the music they have in a couple genres because they try to stick to one area because
Yeah.
they don't want to oversaturate with a whole bunch of stuff.
They just recently put out a band called Yours Truly. It's
I've
like
never
a
heard
female-fronted band. It kind of reminds me of throwback Paramore, like original Paramore. You heard this.
Wait a
I think I
second.
showed this to you.
Is this shot in a church kind of? the
It's,
video?
it's like in the back of a
Yeah,
house.
I've heard this. This is
Yeah,
really good.
This isn't.
I really like this song.
Yeah, this is like original Paramore feeling, but sort of new age. The
And there's we'll talk about that in a second.
vocalist is great. I mean,
She does. She sounds just like Hayley Williams. Well, she has her own
Yeah,
style, obviously, but it's very Hayley Williams.
but it's very original Paramore. Hayley Williams, like the first record. So, I don't know. Check that out. I mean, that's cool. That's what I like in the female world.
I really like that band. I remember this song now. I need
Yeah.
to go home and favorite it.
It's really cool. I mean, like 317,000 views. Never heard of this band before.
For Dreambound, that's awesome.
I mean, that's cool. for these bands and kind of just became known for it.
I mean, we have a few local bands that are on Dreambound around here. They're not super picky.
True.
Like, but they have a pretty extensive like review process, I think. Because our old band is on there, and we tried to submit another track from our EP, and they were like, "Nah."
They hated that shit.
Yeah, we don't want the other stuff.
Yeah.
I think what they say, if you write more stuff like this other song, let us know.
Oh, I can tell. Eric Kirkland recorded that. We aren't accepting that shit.
That was for our friend Luke Smith. He wanted us to talk shit on Eric.
No,
So
that was for me.
But who is it? Jared Alonge? Is he the guy that writes the parody music?
Yeah.
He actually finally came out with a serious band. I don't like parody music.
Oh, yeah.
At all. I hate it. I hate parody music, and I think Jared Alonge is actually a good musician.
Crazy 88.
Yeah, his band is called Crazy 88. It's a female-led front band. She is from the band Red Handed Denial, and they're also pretty good. But her voice is like, hot damn, it's crazy powerful.
You know what it gives me? It gives me like female Periphery vibes. Like
What's his name? Like Spencer?
Yeah.
Sotelo? It gives me like a mixture of like Johnny Craig and Spencer. And
Yeah.
and she also does heavy vocals, screams, whatever the hell we're calling them. We still haven't decided that part.
Scream chillas.
They just came out with a new single. It's called Shine Box. It's really good, and you all should check it out. We're listening to it now. But her voice is super powerful, and I love that.
It definitely sounds... I mean, it's really different.
I don't know how you feel about parody songs. I can't get into it at all.
I hate them.
I will say some of what Jared Alonge did was funny.
It is. I just can't get into it.
But I wish he
It's
would
always
put...
bugged me.
I just wish he'd put all that effort and all of that talent that he has, which he finally did with this band. But I wish he'd take all that parody writing effort and just write real songs, because he's obviously good at it. I mean, the guy can sing, he can write, he can play guitar, drums, bass, he can play everything. And he decided to just make joke songs, which, whatever, he's good at it, but I don't know. I'm just not
he got
into it.
known for it. So
He got very known for it.
What about this band here? Do you remember me showing you Dream State?
I don't think so. See, this is your area.
Okay, Dream State is another female-fronted band on Dreambound. I think they got signed. I'm not really 100% sure. I don't know anything about music again.
Oh my God.
But
I've never seen a video on Dreambound have 5 million views.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It's crazy, but I mean, like, the band is good. It blew my mind when I saw that they had 5 million views. It's
Dreambound is loving that. Jeez.
Yeah. I bet they're loaded from that, dude. It's
That's
like
pretty
Flyleaf. It's like new age Flyleaf.
I dig it. I don't know why.
I'm so sorry if people get offended by me comparing you to another band.
That's what everyone does.
It's not in a mean way.
Why the hell? I can't explain this. You might have to help me. As soon as she started singing, this made me think of Yellow Card.
What?
For no reason. I don't know why. I just got a Yellow Card. I don't have it now, but
Really?
the beginning of the song, I was like, this is like Yellow Card vibe.
It just straight up sounds
not
like
like that
a
now.
really new, better Flyleaf. Because I was only into like 2 songs by Flyleaf. I can't even remember the name of them.
I don't think I've ever listened to him. And if I have, I didn't know it.
Yeah, this band is dope. Give them a listen. Dream State. They have a song on Dreambound called White Lies. I think
Do they have an album or anything? Because the thing about Dreambound that bums me out is you find a band that you really like, and they're just starting out and they have one song.
Yeah, but
It's such a
that's
bummer.
awesome though.
I know, it's like you just want more.
Yeah,
You
they
just
have
to-
some
you have
stuff
to
on
wait for it.
Spotify. They have
Okay.
some stuff.
There was a
They
band.
released another song. I don't know the name of it though.
There was an all-female band. They had a relation to Joey Sturgis for some reason, didn't they? His wife, maybe?
I think it's a soon-to-be wife. Yeah.
What is that? They have an acoustic track. It was called, oh man, I can't remember it. I just thought of it. It was it's so good and really well done because it's Joey Sturgis. I think he mixed and mastered it. Conquer Divide is the name of that band. Was I right about the Joey Sturgis relation? I can't remember. Okay.
His like soon-to-be wife plays guitar. It's like an all-female band.
The singer is incredible. I don't know if I like the full band stuff there because they did one of their full band songs, acoustic songs called Eyes Wide Shut, and it's really pretty. I listened to it like 1,000 times when I first found it.
It's pretty good.
Loved it.
So what else you want to talk about? Do you have any other female artists?
None that I can think of off the top of my head.
What about Joy?
Joy Williams? Mm-hmm. She did a song with Haley Williams.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a relation there? I don't think there is.
I don't think so.
Regardless, I forget. I think it's a Paramore song that they did together, and it was a really stripped down version of that song, and it's beautiful. I love it. I think it's.
We never know.
Hate to see her heartbreak. I can't remember if it's one of Paramore's songs or one of Joy's songs.
It says Paramore featuring.
Yeah, then it's one of Paramore's songs that
pretty
they did
cool.
A stripped down version. Have you heard it? It's really pretty.
You ever think Paramore thought, man, we're going to get so massive off of this band whenever they first started?
Do you think anybody thinks that?
I mean, I don't know.
I doubt
it. I definitely think there's like super groups that are formed.
Yeah.
But like as far as like
they started out probably like every local band. They just started playing music in a garage or something.
Probably.
I doubt they were like, yeah, we're going to be enormous one day. We're going to be able to sit on stage with all of the power gone out and the crowd will be able to sing the song for us. I think that happened once. They sing the acoustic track. What's that one about her dad? Oh my God.
Aaron Gillespie also toured with them for a while on drums.
I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm. After he was out of Under Oath.
We've talked about Under Oath at some point in every. I know it was only 3 episodes so far, but they've come up in every episode.
We like Under Oath.
I mean, I don't dislike them. I've never really listened to them until now.
Yeah, Evan's a poser.
I'm a poser. I'm a podcast poser.
Whatever. So the second half of this podcast is going to pretty much just be an interview.
Our first interview, obviously.
Yeah, this is our first interview ever, and we're going to have Cory on here talking about whatever the hell he wants to talk about, really.
We're just going to try to make it an organic conversation like Tyler and I have for this anyway.
Yeah. And hopefully he doesn't know what he's talking about either to make us feel a little bit better.
I think people enjoy that we don't fully know what we're talking about.
Do you think that?
Yeah.
Should we take a poll? Because
let's take a poll. Do you enjoy that we barely know what we're talking about half the time? I don't know. I enjoy that we just sit here and like chat because this is what we do anyway. There's just microphones in front of us.
All right, guys. Cory Wells. Woo! Cory!
Yeah!
Yeah! Cory! Yeah!
What's going on, man?
What's up, dude?
There we go, speakerphone. I don't think I've ever used this Facebook caller thing.
It actually sounds really good.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah, so you know me, obviously, but this is Evan.
Hey, man.
Hey, what's going on?
Not too much, just doing an interview.
So we're like super new to this. This is something that we have never done. So
okay, I've done one before, so I have a leg up on you guys.
So you're a veteran. All right. So we got some stuff that we wanted to ask you, and I'm gonna let Evan ask it to you.
So I think like an obvious question when it comes to like musicians and stuff is how did you get your start with music? Like what got you interested? What instruments did you play first? What really got you into playing music?
Okay, it's a fair question. When I was probably like, I want to say like 8 or 9, and my parents wanted me to play guitar, and I was like kind of open to it. I don't know. I was like 8 or 9, so I don't really remember. But I remember I was listening to like a lot of like metal at the time, and so like my parents got me an acoustic guitar, and I was trying to like learn how to play like Metallica and shit. And I was like, man, I suck at this. This doesn't sound like anything like, like Metallica. And then, as I'm playing on an acoustic, and then like maybe a year or 2 later, they got me an electric guitar, and I like could not put it down. But for that first year or 2, I like hated, like I like did not want to go to guitar lessons. Fuck that. I was so over it. And then I got the electric guitar, and I could not put it down. And and then kind of just started playing, and it's kind of funny because it comes back like full circle. I don't remember the last time I picked up my electric guitar. I like only play my acoustic for like the past couple of years now.
Yeah, I was just about to say that I think you've put the electric down a little bit because your music's all
Yeah.
acoustic focused.
I was gonna say it's funny, like maybe like I think like one time, maybe a year ago, I like hadn't played my electric in so long, and I was like, I just played a show by myself, and I was like, I'm just gonna play on electric instead, and it was actually pretty cool.
You still did your solo stuff, but you just played electric?
Yeah, I just played on electric with like a ton of reverb and like delay and fucking shit like that, and it sounded like super ambient, and like kind of everything was like not as aggressive as on the acoustic. It was more like a more ambient, like down tempo set, but it was fun. It was cool to like experiment with. It was kind of like a last minute decision.
So what influences you now, though? Metallica influenced you obviously at the start, but what are your influences nowadays?
Man, I listen to like a lot of weird music, but like in this genre, dude, one of my favorites right now for the past like year has got to be like Moose Blood.
I think I've listened to
I don't know,
that.
my friend Kyle showed me. Well, we were on like a little like 4-day run or whatever, and he was actually covering one of their songs, and I was like, man, that's a really good song. And he was like, yeah, dude, you haven't heard of Moose Blood? And I was like, I've heard of him. I just haven't listened to him. And then he actually rode with me like to the next show, which was a couple hours, and we listened to the whole record. And like since then, I like have not been able to put that record down. But I really enjoy them. But
Who out of this genre do you enjoy?
Oh, I listen to a lot of this like jazz group called Snarky Puppy.
What? Snarky Puppy?
You got to check it out, dude. So sick.
Okay.
So sick. They have they're mostly instrumental, but so as a vocalist, Tyler, there's this chick who does vocals on some of their records, and she's like one of the very few people, like I don't know the exact number, but it's like less than 10 people in the world can do this, and she can actually sing a chord.
Is her name Layla Hathaway?
It is.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Go figure.
She is unbelievable.
She sings for Snarky Puppy.
I didn't know that. That video blew my mind. She quite literally sings an entire chord. She splits her vocal cords.
It's very haunting.
She splits her vocal cords and sings a chord. Everyone that she's playing with in the video that I saw just freaks out. It's insane.
That's Snarky Puppy.
Man, I need to start listening to them because I loved the song that
That's
they
awesome.
played.
I love the name.
Yeah, they have a record called We Like It Here, and it is fantastic.
I need to check that out.
But like Snarky Puppy's great. Dude, honestly, right now, I've gotten super into country music.
Yeah, we have
Dude,
actually.
Same. Must
That's
be this
amazing.
time of year. What are you listening to in the country world?
Dude, like kind of all over the spectrum. Like as far as like the more poppier kind of country, dude, Rascal Flatts is like my boy right now.
That's awesome. There's nothing wrong with that.
But I like a lot of old country, like old Johnny Cash and Jimmy Davis and Hank Williams and stuff like that too.
I can get behind that. We were just talking about in our last episode, we talked about how country kind of turned into this stupid stadium country genre. And
dude, there's this song on the radio right now, and I don't know who it's by, but there's this country station down by me that I listen to called Go Country, and they play it all the freaking time. And I think it's called You Broke Up With Me. Listen to it so that you can understand what I'm talking about. But it's like not even country. It's like he sings with like a redneck accent, so I guess it's country. But it's like country for people who don't like country, and pop for people who don't like pop, and rap for people who don't like rap.
Dude, this is literally exactly what we talked about last week. We talked about that song that you hear on the radio that you don't know the name of, that you hear and you know all the words to it, but you're like, I have no idea who the hell that is that I'm listening to.
And you hate it.
It's
awful.
But you're like, I know it.
Yeah, hate it.
There's, man.
Yep.
I forget it. And there's this like new movement with country where they're trying to do rap country, and it's not working. I don't know why they keep continuing it.
I don't
Well,
even
I
know
mean,
what that is.
it is working because it's all
That's
over the
true.
radio.
That's
but
very true.
My ears are not
maybe
making
it's
it
not.
work.
Maybe it's not working, and they're just pushing it super hard.
Yeah, I mean, that could be it too.
They're trying to make it happen.
But I wanted to ask you, your lyrics are phenomenal. And I wanted to ask
Thank you.
where that inspiration comes from. Like, where do you draw your lyrics from? Is it personal events, or do you tie them? Like, do you look at your friends and your family and stuff and you write from that? How do you approach lyric writing?
Well, so far they've all been personal events for like my solo stuff. Like every line, like I know exactly which moment in my life that line came from. But I mean, to get like the idea of doing it like so raw and just like this is what happened, kind of comes from like a dashboard Frank Turner type place. I grew up like listening, like even when I grew up, I listened to a lot of metal, like Necrophagist and Death and Morbid Angel and shit like that. But for some reason, like I loved Dashboard. Like I don't know why. I just loved it. And I just saw like his like MTV Unplugged, and I was like, I want that. That's what I want. And so it kind of this whole project kind of was inspired by that like MTV Unplugged video, and I get a lot of inspiration from Dashboard. I don't want to copy him, but
You
that's
don't get,
kind of
you don't get your inspiration from Morbid Angel. That's what I hear.
no. I mean, a little bit. Like I get some inspiration from like I love melodic hardcore, and
Yeah.
like I do like quite a bit of screaming in my music. And like I pull a lot of that from like Killing the Dream and Verse and stuff like that. Kind of like, it's funny. My buddy Andrew was talking to me about music the other day. We were talking about melodic hardcore, and he described it as, how the fuck could you do this to me, Core?
I mean, that's kind of
And
true, though.
it's super accurate. So I'm gonna roll with that. It's kind of, how the fuck could you do this to me, Core?
I like that. I mean, it works.
That is awesome.
Before we did a little bit of our podcast before we called you, and we labeled you as what was it, emo folk, and I really like that because
I hope you're not offended by that.
I hope you weren't offended by it because I felt it was perfect.
No, it's kind of, dude. Honestly, I feel like it's kind of hard to place.
Yeah. It's just like its own thing. And you can tell that you sort of developed your own thing, especially when you put your stuff on Dreambound, because then you get so much feedback. I'm sure that was awesome to get all that feedback finally.
You're also one of the first few artists on Dreambound of that genre, because they like we talked about earlier, they don't do a ton of that kind of music, and that's awesome for you because that's brought a lot of people in.
Yeah, it's rad. I mean, Manny kind of hit me up about it, the guy who runs it, and I didn't even know who he was. And then he was like, "Hey, I run this thing called Dreambound. Like, I really like your new single. Like, would you be interested in putting it up?" And blah blah blah. And it was like super cool. And it was just a great thing. It exposed like a lot of people to my music. And then he was like, "Oh, if you have any future releases coming out, we'd love to, I'd love to hear it and maybe feature that too." And then I was like, "Yeah, we're doing, this new music video. It's almost done and stuff." And I sent it to him, and he was like, "Yeah, I want to put this one up too." So it was cool too to have him, because I know Dreambound is like a kind of, it's a pretty big thing. And a lot of people have hit me up since and have been like, "Hey, how did you get your stuff on Dreambound?" And I'm just like, "I don't know, man. The guy just kind of hit me up and asked me."
Did it? Yeah, I know. I mean, those people are super supportive. Like, once they get you on there and they get you that exposure that they initially wanted, like, he saw something in you, obviously, and that's why he wanted to put you up there, because they have such a big reach. I mean, their channel is massive, and it's just, I mean, from what I can tell, it's
like
pretty much
130,000 subs or something.
And it's organically massive, which is cool, because, like, if you notice, they really don't have a huge presence anywhere else. YouTube is where it's at. They're
because I've posted about them on like Instagram, and I try to like tag him and like, "Oh, thanks for posting my stuff, Dreambound," but he doesn't have like a Instagram, or like he has a Twitter, but it's not like very active.
No. Yeah, it's
It's
crazy.
really just YouTube.
But it's so active. Like YouTube, they just have like a massive community, and that's where I go to find a lot of new artists, especially artists that labels aren't pushing and like people won't promote, but Dreambound like hears something in them and they will promote it. I think that is what's
Yeah,
so cool about that channel. It's just
yeah,
like the
absolutely.
underground.
Yeah, because like, dude, the label world is so, I don't know, it's very strange. Like, they're so like, hear 10 seconds of something and they're like, oh, well, yeah, I don't know, it's good, it's good. Like, it's just they're so picky with their stuff, and like, I don't know, they like you said, that's what is cool about Dreambound is that he really searches deeper than what is the most marketable thing, and really just like what real music is, and wants to push that.
Yeah.
I find it awesome that they do follow-up emails with people just to say like how, because they do that, don't they?
Yeah, whenever
Yeah.
Evan and I had a band on there a long time ago called Current State, and after we released our stuff, they hit us back and they were like, "Hey, when do you guys want to like put out another song? Like, we actually have some people that might want to collab with you." And
I think that's awesome. That
yeah,
they
we
do
were
that.
like, "What?" They were like, "Yeah, like this dude wants likes your music. He wants to collab with you guys." And I was like, "All right, that's cool as hell."
Yeah.
Yeah, super sick. And I've watched your video on there, that acoustic version of Fathers, so many times. So sick.
Don't call me out. This is about you,
Whatever,
baby.
dude. Whatever, man. It's cool though.
Thank
and
you.
I enjoy it.
Hey, we're like the only acoustic artists on there right now, dude.
Yeah, you guys are.
This is true.
Oh, not really. I think there's a couple more, but like I thought that was pretty cool.
I'm pretty sure you guys were the first. I haven't seen very many since then, which is awesome. I'm glad they're expanding into that. Where
Yeah, it's a lot of like that melodic hardcore, like early movementsy type stuff.
Mm-hmm. I was gonna ask where did you film your newest music video? Because it's the cinematography and it's gorgeous. Where was that at exactly?
Yeah. Well, we did it in San Pedro by it's kind of down by where I live. It's probably about 12 miles from me, but my manager lives down there, so he kind of knew the spots, and we were working with a pretty low budget. So my manager Jason got all like the drone shots and stuff. And then Daniel from Capsize he directed it and did all the handheld and all the editing and stuff, and did a super awesome job. Like, I didn't know what to expect, like, going into it. Like, I've only done like one like video that I like consider as like a legit music video, like with my old band, and Pat from Movements and Spencer actually did it, and it came out super cool, and that was super low budget too. So I was like, I know you can do it super low budget and have it come out really sick, but I didn't really know what to expect. And it totally like exceeded like all my expectations.
I would have thought that was not low budget at all. That video was really good, well done. Like everything about it was awesome. That's awesome to hear
Yeah,
that it was low budget.
Yeah, for sure. And then he was super interested in doing like another video with me too, which will be cool. So there's probably going to be another music video out sometime in the near future.
All right, we have a super random question for you. So we're at the end now. Okay. We asked you all the like dramatic question. So
okay.
We don't just talk about like music on this podcast. It's kind of about, it's mainly about music. That's the meat of it, but we also talk about a lot of other stuff. So what food have you been into this week?
Yeah, what's your food of the week?
Dude, food of the week. I think my food of the week every week for like the past like 4 years has been ramen.
That's sick. Like the cheap shit in the plastic bag from Walmart?
No. There's this place by my house called Shinsengumi, and it's like the whole menu is in like Japanese, and everyone that like works there is just constantly like shouting in Japanese like the whole time.
That sounds really authentic.
It's like super authentic, and it's pretty like decently priced too. It's only like if you like finish your noodles and you want more noodles, it's only like $1, and they just like give you like a whole new thing of noodles in your bowl.
I can safely say I don't think we have anything like that On the East Coast.
No.
Maybe.
That's a thing, dude, about California. It's like it's a different dimension from here. But like that alone, what you just said, it's just like to live on the West Coast, you basically need to be made of gold. But to eat there, you could find change on the street. That's what I've noticed. It's so cheap to eat places there.
Well,
Certain
not
places.
necessarily.
Certain places.
Certain places like that ramen spot. Like I go with my girl all the time, and we'll each have a beer and a bowl, and I'll get a couple extra noodles, and it comes out to like $50, something like that.
Okay, never mind. I lied about the change thing.
But I mean, like everywhere, there's like fast food everywhere. I think it's like super expensive to like live here in general.
Yeah,
is like nuts. Like we're looking for like a 2-bedroom like house to move into, and it's like, I mean, we're looking at like almost $3,000 a month.
Oh my God.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, like
that makes me feel sick.
Included.
That's crazy, man.
That makes me feel like
so
legitimately sick. I feel ill when you tell me shit like that. That's so crazy. What else do we have, Evan?
We also do, this is kind of putting you on the spot a little bit, but we do each of us have a band or artist of the week every week. What would yours be if you had to pick one right now?
If I had to pick, like big or small?
Doesn't matter. Anything.
Whatever you've been listening to this week that's been like your bread and butter, what would you pick?
What have I been listening to this week? Dude, hang on. I don't know off the top of my head. Let me pull up my Spotify here, and it'll tell me. What I have been listening to a lot is this band called Daughter. Have you heard of Daughter?
Yeah.
Yep, we've heard of Daughter.
No, okay. Okay, you've heard of them. I changed my answer. My boy, have you heard of this old band called The Messenger?
I don't think so.
Are they super heavy?
They're pretty heavy. It's got like Kevin from This Wildlife played drums for them originally.
Oh no! Maybe I did. I think I've listened to them. Ago.
But okay, so their vocalist, his name's Kimba, and has his own like solo thing. It's kind of like a mix between like Drake and Chris Brown, and he goes by Cozy. I'm gonna go with Cozy because I fucking jam his shit all the time. All right. And he's like, he's got this one song called "Praying for the Weekend" that like, if any big artist, like established artist, put out that song right now, it would be fucking #1, like everywhere. Like it would be fucking massive.
Sweet, we'll have to check it out then.
What was it called again?
Yes. Cozy. So it's Kozze.
Of course it is.
What's your band of the week?
Mine was this artist named Sabrina Claudio. She's fantastic. If you haven't listened to her, I don't know if Tyler.
I don't think I picked one.
Oh yeah, you did, and we forgot.
I've just been stuck on country. I'm gonna go John Moreland this week.
You picked him last week.
No, I didn't.
Oh yeah,
I picked Tyler Childers last week.
Okay.
I'm into country right now too. So if you haven't listened to him, listen to John Moreland or Tyler Childers, either one of them.
Okay.
They're both really just straight folk, and like they're super sick. I actually went to buy Tyler Childers is coming through our area, which bands just don't come through our area, I promise. But I went to buy tickets at a 300 cap venue, and they were out within a minute. So, I mean, the dude's pretty popular even here.
That's sick.
Oh, dude, we have one more question for you.
Did you get tickets?
No, I didn't get tickets.
Well, man.
I clicked general admission, 2 tickets, one for me, one for my wife. Clicked next, and it said these tickets have been sold out.
It said jam it.
Yep. Dude, we have one more question for you.
And then we promise we'll let you go.
And this is the biggest question of all that we want to know. What do you think of Vero? Are you using it?
Okay, so this is a good question. I really like the idea of it. I like the way that it like looks and stuff, and the way that it functions. When it will actually launch for me. So I don't know. You guys have like iPhone or whatever. I have an Android, and it's like it's seriously like 1 out of 10 times it'll actually like launch. Like I'll have to click the icon and then wait a minute and it doesn't do anything, and then I'll fucking kill the app and then do it again, and 1 out of those 10 times it'll work.
That sounds
but
about right for the iPhone users too.
Yeah.
It's pretty similar.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I think it would be cool if they could just get it working. I don't know if they expected, like as many people. I mean, they might have, because they said like the first 1 million users. That's a pretty big number to throw out. But I don't know. Maybe they didn't account for how many people were actually going to give it a shot. But I do like it. Everything's in chronological order, just like fucking Twitter is.
Mm-hmm.
And like Facebook and Instagram, it's so hard to reach your audience on there, because I mean, I get what they're doing. It's like, some people like, they became famous like from Instagram, and they were like, man, this person just basically used our app to become famous. Like, where's our money? Which I mean, I get it from a business standpoint. But that's why I like Twitter so much, is it's just like everything's in chronological order and you don't miss anything, and Twitter's the best.
What even says like they have that section that's like what you might have missed. Like Twitter has that.
They even yep. Like, dude, I was so mad at Instagram. Like, I really like this metal band called the Zenith Passage, and their guitar player also plays for the Faceless. But they're super sick, like tech death metal. But so they like, oh no, this has to do with the Faceless. The Zenith Passage is good. Listen to them. But so the Faceless posted, their guitar player posted on Instagram like, hey, we're playing a free show at the Slide Bar tonight, which is 40 minutes from my house. And I was like, what? Free Faceless show? Definitely going. And I was about to text my homie, and I was like, wait, let me make sure Instagram's not fucking with me right now. And I looked at Instagram 5 days ago, and I was like, oh, cool. Well, I would have went if you would have showed me this when it freaking posted.
Yeah. No, I get that. Like, I see, like, after Christmas, I think it was like 4 days after Christmas, they were like, people were posting about Santa Claus is coming tonight. And I was like, what?
No, he's not.
I was like, why are these people celebrating Christmas so late? Like, I thought that was so weird. And then I looked down and I'm like, all right, well, it makes sense because Instagram actually doesn't make sense. Yeah. It's really annoying.
It's Twitter, dude. Twitter is just where to be. And I'm very new to Twitter. But I've been on it for like a month now, and I honestly don't even touch my other social media, like hardly.
Yeah. It's just easy. It's like easy to post on Twitter. So I get that.
Yeah. And just like, I don't know. It was like Movements kind of helped me out when I put out my music video. Like Pat shared it on their Instagram story. And then I like texted him and I was like, thank you so much, dude. Like, it means a lot to me, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, dude, if I could give you some advice, like, you need to get your Twitter going. Like, he was like, Instagram, he just like basically told me like how difficult like Instagram makes it. And I didn't even realize. And then like, he was like, you need to get your Twitter going, like, set up your page so it's more like, because I made one a long time ago and just hadn't updated it. And he was like, update it so it looks like it's current. And he was like, and I'll share your video on our Twitter too. And I was like, okay, for sure. And then since then, I've just been like on Twitter like constantly. Dude, well, can I ask you guys a question?
What do you want to ask?
Of course.
This is one of my favorite questions to ask people. If you had to pick one series out of the choices that I'm going to give you, which one would it be, being Star Wars or Lord of the Rings?
Well, I know Tyler's answer, but my answer is Lord of the Rings.
Tyler?
I don't know my answer. You
Are
don't
you
know my
serious?
answer.
I thought it would be Star Wars.
They're different. So,
I love them
but if
both.
you had to pick one or the other, like one to just never have existed.
Oh, it doesn't
Which
exist
one?
at all? Oh, man.
Shit, this is
still-
pretty tough.
I'm still going with Lord of the Rings.
I
It's
think
my
I'm going to
favorite.
have to go with Lord of the Rings too.
Wow, that's surprising. Really?
Dude, Well, you guys are on my team then.
Hell yeah. Don't get us wrong. We both love Star Wars.
Yeah,
but Lord of the
but-
Rings is
yeah.
like
Oh, I do too.
I've been
I
on
do
Lord
too,
of the
but
Rings since I was a kid.
Oh yeah, but I mean, if I'm scrolling through TV and it's like, oh, Star Wars is on and Lord of the Rings is on, I'm gonna watch Lord of the Rings every single time.
I agree. That's a solid question. I'm glad you asked us that.
Yeah, that was actually difficult.
Yeah, it was. Well, for you, I knew immediately.
It was. I just recall myself watching Lord of the Rings literally every single night.
Yeah,
I would turn it on every night.
I did that too.
I ran that shit in the ground.
Yeah, I mean, dude, me and my girlfriend Danielle just literally like maybe a couple months ago we watched The Hobbit all the way through Lord of the Rings, like through all 6 films, and it was fucking incredible.
Did you watch the director's
and there was like
cuts?
No.
That's
Nobody
like
has time for that.
that's like 2 days worth of movie. It's not a joke.
Yeah, it took us we watched like one a day, but there was like Easter eggs that I didn't even like realize. Like you remember in The Hobbit where there's like the scene with the trolls and they're like trying to figure out how they're gonna eat them and stuff, and then they all get turned to stone by Gandalf.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So in Fellowship of the Rings, they're like at the party, like Bilbo's 189th birthday or whatever, and he's like telling these kids like the story, like it's like a very quick cut, but he's telling these kids about the story about the trolls, and then later on in the film, where the Fellowship is walking through the forest, there's like it's like super in the background, but the trolls are like there, all turned to stone, like in the background. And like I never noticed that. Yeah, next time you watch The Fellowship, keep an eye out. I think it's a little bit before Frodo gets stabbed by the Nazgul.
Okay,
check that out.
That is really sick.
But-
I've never noticed that either.
Yep. There's a lot of Easter eggs between like the 2 films. It was cool how they tied them together. And like the map, like how in The Hobbit, like Bilbo has like the map of like Mordor of like their journey. That in the beginning of the Fellowship, he's like that's Gandalf like walks into his house, and he's like looking through his stuff, and that map is on the table.
That's sick. I didn't notice that stuff, man. Well, I need to
Yeah.
watch them again, apparently.
Yeah. Well, now I just like want to watch them again. It's been so long since I've watched all of them.
Same.
It's not a bad call.
Definitely not. That's it.
Yeah,
Oh.
well, that's my one question.
Dude, well, thank you for doing this, especially since we're like so new to it. Thank you for
Dude, well, so am I, dude. This is my second podcast ever. It's been a pleasure.
Well,
Thanks,
thanks
man.
for your time, man. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course, guys.
Give us a follow on Vero too.
Yeah, follow us on Vero, please.
I will.
If
I'll
you
let
can
know
get it
when-
to
when
launch
the app
later.
works.
Follow us.
Yeah. If I can get it to work, then I'll definitely do it.
All right, man. We'll chat later.
Take it easy.
All right, guys. Take it easy.
See ya. So, in order to gauge how far people make it into our episodes, we decided to do a thing where if you are the first person to send us an email at halfnotepodcast@gmail.com of a hot dog emoji, we will send you a free pizza on us.
You have to be the first person.
Yeah, we're not sending a free pizza to everyone that does it.
We'll let you know if you're the first person.
Yeah.
We'll also let you know if you're not the first person.
Yeah, we'll reply regardless. Also, follow us on Twitter at halfnotepodcast.com. If you want to draw a caricature of both of us, please do that and send it to us at halfnotepodcast@gmail.com. We want to do something with it, and we're just looking for characters of ourselves. You can find pictures of us online. It's fairly easy.
Please don't draw the awful looking ones of us.
I want really bad ones.
Okay.
You can
F
draw
it.
us however you
Yeah,
want.
just
If
I
you
don't
have
care,
no
actually.
artistic ability, even better.
Even better.
That is encouraged. What other outlets do we have? We have a Facebook page now. It's facebook.com/halfnote, I think. Is it Halfnote Podcast or Halfnote? I think it's Halfnote.
I literally have no idea.
Cool. I think it's facebook.com/halfnote. Go give us a like on there. We'll be posting all of our episodes and stuff. You can listen to us on SoundCloud, Spreaker, Overcast, the Apple Podcast app, pretty much anywhere podcasts are available, except for Spotify, which we're working on. The music that you hear in our podcast is written by our friend Justin Hours. He's fantastic, and if you need any EDM music, I'm sure he would help you out. I believe that's it.
Thanks for listening.
Okay, bye.
Later.
See ya.
Hey, I'm Tyler St. Clair,
And I'm Evan Farrell.
and this is Halfnote.